Well, guys, Sanmonan, welcome back to Football Trends with me, QP. Obviously, I'm here to give you the latest updates, and it's quite interesting because we're not expecting this one, but I do feel like we were expecting some of the latest news. So we're going to be talking about Happy Mashiane, Josh Matlow. We will be looking at, the confirmation of the new goalkeeper coach, which by surprise, it is quite surprising and quite shocking. And then also we'll be looking at a new player that we have been linked with, defender. But for me, I do not agree with this player, and I will let you know why at the end of the video or a bit later on. Now, starting off with Umchitarpana Happy Mashiane, which obviously Kaizer Chiefs is a player. Currently they have decided they're not gonna renew or give him a new contract, which for me it makes sense. That is something. By the way, before we continue a lot more, please do make sure that you like the video. Thank you so much for helping me reach 48,000 subscribers. No, 47,000 subscribers. Now we need just 3,000 subscribers to reach 50k per video. So please do make sure that you keep on subscribing and liking all my content. Now, getting back to Happy Mashiane and the latest news. As I've mentioned, Happy Mashiane, they decided to let him go after 7 full years. We've been hoping with at least Umchita will give us something, something interesting, but I just feel like it never came. And unfortunately, also, it did not help his case by the fact that Kaizer Chiefs was struggling in the past 7 years included, so it was a lot more difficult for him to be able to get some game time in this Fananalezo. But despite that, I can't say his situation was worse, because we did have a player like Ubonganisem, which we signed from Orlando Pirates, and Magafiga, he did not even have one official game. He just did not play. And quite interesting, but definitely that is the moral or the story of Umchita. And for another day, same as George Matlow, now it has been confirmed. We have confirmed Uti, he will be parting ways, and he did just that. For me, I'm not surprised with the 2 exits so far. We are still waiting to anticipate, or actually we are still waiting to see who else is going to be let go of. It's a mess. But anyways, moving on, we jump to the new goalkeeper coach, which obviously we did speak about Aubrey Matibe, which we thought he was going to be the goalkeeper coach, since Kaizer Chiefs offered, Fernando Cruz that, okay, we do have a guy, because Kaizer Chiefs, they always love to say, we do have this, we do have that, don't worry about it. Now, Coach Fernando Cruz did obviously refuse and say, no, I do have my own man. I feel like would be, a great goalkeeper coach for me or for us. And it's a done deal. He has been signed. The man I'm speaking about, Bafetu, is none other than, okay, you'll have to forgive me there in terms of spelling, but he is Olivier, I believe, Sorin, from France. Bonjour, madame. I'm just trying to speak a lot about it, but anyways, I don't know much about the language. So currently, he's in the country, and I believe he has started or assumed working with the club, obviously. And Tiwanje, he has worked with a lot of players, especially international, but when it comes to locally, it doesn't have a lot of experience as a goalkeeper coach. So hopefully it's not going to be a problem for us, because let's be honest, ever since we brought in Elias Mzogi, things have been different, and we are expecting, proper results or even better results than what Elias did. By the way, I will forever miss that guy, Bafetu. He was an incredible goalkeeper coach. Even the spirit that he brought to the club at Naturena, everything was just spot on. So hopefully this new guy, at least he will give us something. If he's not giving us something in terms of former performances, maybe Naye, he is someone who is a bit, energetic and stuff like that. But so far, with what I've seen, it doesn't look like that. He's not like the happy soul of Elias Mzogi. But anyways, that is fine. Now, moving on to Telapana, whom we have spoken about. Actually, before we get to that player, let me just confirm the current technical team currently. I don't know if there's anything else that is missing, but we do have the coach, which is Fernando de Cruz. We do have Mahmoud Abbas, which is the first assistant coach, and then the second assistant coach, which is coach Dylan Shepard. We do have the strength and conditioning, which is Julian Lee Hara, Hare or Hara. I'm not too sure about the pronunciation. And then last but not least, for now, we do have Olivier, I believe, Sorin. So quite interesting. But so far, those are the 5 technical members that we do have. Yes, we are still waiting for confirmation of everything else. We are still waiting for, I don't know who else is missing. But if I'm not mistaken, probably one person that will be added is a analyst. I'm pretty sure an analyst is the last person that will be added to the technical team. So, which means in the as a striker coach, let's forget about it. That's quite something that will not happen. We'll just keep on wishing and wishing time and time again. But this is our team. That's all I can say. Then moving on, we go and talk about this player Bafetu. Now, this one is a defender. Remember when we spoken about Inaso Miguel, Wetua, there's a club that is looking to sign him. I did say it was rumors. I'm not sure if, it's something that I can confirm what it's accurate. But yes, Muzwile Tua, coach Nazile Nabi is looking to sign the player as Journal Lapana Eraja, because definitely, clearly, they've been conceding a lot of goals. The first game they played, I think it was a draw, and then the second game, they managed to play, I think, 4-3. So obviously, that shows you defensively there is a bit of a problem. But other than that, Coach Nabi is not a defending coach. That was something that people still like to understand. I don't know why, but people do not want to understand that part, that Coach Fernando de Cruz doesn't like, not Fernando de Cruz, Coach Nabi doesn't like to defend. But I can say, same as Fernando de Cruz, he's not a defending type. So we'll see about that. And speaking of coaches, Fernando de Cruz apparently has managed to win, when it comes to CAF Confederations. So, let's take that into consideration. Now, jumping to Umji Terapana that we have been linked with, Olisah Ndah. Apparently, they are looking to sign him to replace Inaso Miguel, which for me doesn't make any sense, because number one, why are we signing a player who is injury prone? I don't mind that he's a free agent. I love this guy Bafetu. He's an incredible player, yes, but right now, he would not be the best candidate or the best replacement for a player like Inaso Miguel. Inaso Miguel hardly ever has injuries. The only time he had few injuries was during that time where he was knocked, and then obviously something happened on the head. And then there was instance where he did something on his leg. But with Olisah Ndah, ever since he fractured his tibia, I'm not sure if that is the correct pronunciation, but something like that did happen, and ever since he's been injury prone. Him and Orlando Pirates decided, you know what, it would be just best if we went our separate ways, and that happened. He joined Stellenbosch FC, and same thing happened with Stellenbosch FC. They did say, okay, we're going to be giving you this short-term deal, but also we will have an option that we can trigger so that you can be able to, have another year with us. Well, guess what happened? Stellenbosch decided, no, we're not going to do that. And ask me why. Well, I think it has to do with the fact that, number one, obviously is a foreign player, so he is blocking up space for other signings. Number two, he's not match fit. Like, he always has problems because of what the injuries. So he's not a player that you can say, okay, I will rely on this player. So for me, for a club like Kaizer Chiefs, it doesn't make any sense why we should be going after players who we know perfectly well that they are injury prone. Who is going to be benching, or who is he going to be benching? Lapan, that Mashiane. Honestly speaking, I do understand we need a replacement for Eden McCarthy, but this one, no, doesn't make any sense to me. We need to make a better plan, because yes, Eden McCarthy, Inaso Miguel, chances are now he will be leaving, so that leaves a gap. And as I've said, we will be competition. We will be competing in a lot of tournaments. You know, MTN 8, Nedbank Cup, Black Label, you name them, CAF Confed. Obviously, now you get Betway Premiership, but we need to be honest and realistic about those certain things. We need players that we can say they are ready, they need to play, they are not injury prone. Napa, the work permits, it's another problem. Most sign a player like Olisah Ndah, obviously we're gonna have to wait for my permits. Yeah, now on the positive side, he is a free agent, but honestly speaking, for me, it doesn't make any sense why we would be going after such a player whom even Stellenbosch do not want. Why should we want that player? I don't know. But you can let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Buffet 2. I believe this is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's keep growing. Buffet 2. We need to get to 50,000 subscribers. At least next month we should be there. So yeah. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section below about Olisah Ndah. And also, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see the performance of the new technical team when it comes to Kaizer, because wow, we are waiting. And I'm sure in the next 2-3 days, there will be more announcements about players and players who are leaving. By the way, I did spot Samgelo Zwane, so it's safe to say Abachita, they are back. Most youngsters who were out on loan spells, they are back. Samgelo Zwane is another player that I'm hoping at least he will get something different this time around, because we have an incredible player Lapana, and with George Matlo being out, that leaves a great amount of space for him to be able to be featured. But we can say there's still another player, which is Pajo. Not going to talk much about that. Let's leave it for another day. But for you, peace out. Don't forget to do the right thing.